Pokemon Sword and Shield are probably my favorite Pokemon games on the Switch as a whole, and even though they have their flaws, I still enjoy them. Scarlet and Violet are fantastic games, but I find myself still going back to Sword and Shield on the regular. I just find that the linear nature of the games are amazing, and it takes me back to when I first played Pokemon as a kid. The classic routes, the trainer battles, and finding rare Pokemon while going through the game is what makes Pokemon games so much fun for me. Now, I do know that Sword and Shield's story isn't anything to write home about, but they just have that magic about them. The gym battles are hands down the best in the series in my opinion, not because they're hard or anything like that. It's the roaring crowd and the spectacle of it, and it feels like you're actually in a gym challenge fighting your way to the top. So I started a new playthrough of Pokemon Shield, but it's not just a normal adventure. I do hope you enjoyed the video, and if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing and leaving a like, as it's super appreciated and it helps out massively. So without further ado, enjoy my adventure of Pokemon Shield, but I can only use Shinies. I started my journey on February 2nd, 2025, and this challenge would become one of my favorite runs so far. After meeting up with Hop and Leon at the train station, we headed back to their house where Leon had a gift for me. Normally, this is where I would hunt for a shiny starter, but as some of you may know, Pokemon Sword and Shield were the first games to shiny lock the starters. It's a bummer, but don't worry, I'll be hunting for a shiny starter very soon. I then decided to go with Sobble, my favorite Gen 8 starter, which I named Bubbles, and had a quick battle with Hop. Once the battle was over, Hop and I heard a loud noise and investigated, and it turned out to be a rogue Wooloo that had broken through a gate leading into the Slumbering Wheel. We followed it in and ended up encountering the Box Legendary, which I really like because it introduces you to the legendary Pokemon right away. After taking care of that, we headed back to town where I met Hop on Route 1, and this is where the shiny hunting begins. Originally, I intended to shiny hunt for a Wooloo, but I was streaming at the time, so I let my chat vote on what I would hunt instead, and they chose Rookity. Now, it was time to start the long process of knocking out 500 Rookity for the Brilliant Aura hunt. If you're wondering what that is, it's a method where you defeat a certain number of the same Pokemon to boost your odds. After 500 KOs, the chance of an Aura Pokemon appearing jumps to 3%, with the 1 in 585 chance of being shiny. Which turned out that I didn't even need to do any of that, because after only 541 encounters, which is way under odds by the way, I found my first shiny team member of the run at the full odds of 1 in 4096. Oh, there it is! Oh my god! Oh my god, I wasn't even... Oh my god! I wasn't even paying attention! Shiny Rookity! Holy moly, dude. That surprised the hell out of me. Shiny Rookity in the bag, dude. Let's go! Somebody in my stream wanted to name it Joe, but since it's female, I'm naming it Joanne. There we go. Joanne added to the party. We got our first team member. Let's go, dude. Let me save. After adding Joanne to the team, I was ready to officially begin the journey. I made my way through Route 2 towards the professor's house where I battled Hop again. Like the goat she is, Joanne swept his entire team for the win. Once the battle with Hop was over, Leon gave us both a letter of endorsement to enter the gym challenge. And as we stood there, 2 wishing stars fell from the sky right next to us. After visiting the professor's house and receiving the Dynamax band, we set off for the wild area. A vast open world section teeming with Pokemon. But my excitement got the best of me and I rushed straight to Motostoke City, where I encountered Bede, the second rival of the game, who was rude from the start. Here is where I chose my number for the gym challenge, and at the time I used the number of subscribers I had, which was 474. Once that was done, I headed to the inn where I met Team Yell for the first time and defeated them in battle. Then I met the third rival of the game, Marnie, who is one of the people Team Yell supports. After spending the night, it was time for the gym challenge ceremony. After arriving, Hop and I get dressed and headed out onto the field where they introduced all but one of the gym leaders. I love this moment. It really sets the stage for the gym challenge and it feels like a big deal. We then met Chairman Rose, who totally isn't evil at all, and had a quick battle with Hop just before Route 3, where I did some training to evolve Joanne into a Corvisquire. And remember this route, because we'll be back here, and it still haunts me to this day. Anyway, putting traumatic events aside, I made my way through Galar Mine 1, where I ran into Bede once again. He challenged me to a battle, but Joanne took his entire team down with ease. With that taken care of, I headed outside to the town of Turffield where I was assaulted by a Wooloo and met the first gym leader of the run, Milo, a grass type specialist. Next, I entered the gym to start the gym mission, and I have to say this. These missions are amazing. I really hope they keep adding them to Pokemon games in the future. They add another layer of the gym experience beyond just battling random trainers. Anyway, it was finally time to face Milo for the first badge, and the battle went exactly as I expected. After setting up with 2 Hone Claws and Dynamaxing, Joanne took out Milo's Gossifleur and Dynamax Eldegoss with 1 Max Airstream each, earning the first gym badge. It was now time to hunt for a second shiny team member, and if you remember from the beginning of the video, I said I was going to hunt for a shiny starter at some point, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. But before I can do that, I headed to Route 5 where I ran into Team Yell harassing a doctor just before the bridge. After battling them, the doctor gifted me the bike they were trying to borrow from him, which was a huge help for my next hunt. With my new bike acquired, I made my way to the daycare in the wild area to start my first Masuda egg hunt of the run for my starter. I spent the next few days collecting and hatching eggs, hoping to get the shiny I was looking for. Fortunately, it didn't take too long, and after only 304 eggs, I got my shiny starter. There it is! The shiny Sobble! Oh my god! Oh, it's female too! Oh, that was after 304 eggs. Let's go! Onwards to the second gym. I named her Bubbles once again and used some XP candies to get her caught up in levels. Once that was done, I returned to the Route 5 bridge where I ran into Hop for another rival battle. But with the new and improved Bubbles on my team, it was a cakewalk. I then continued on to Holberry where the second gym is located and stumbled upon Chairman Rose and his boxers. If that doesn't scream evil, I don't know what does. The gym doors were locked, so I had to head to the Lighthouse Pier to find the water-type gym specialist, Nessa. Once that was taken care of, I made my way into the Holberry gym and started the gym mission. I know this gym mission like the back of my hand, so I was able to get through it with ease, allowing me to take on Nessa for the second gym badge. Joanne started the battle by setting up with Hone Claws and plucking her way through Nessa's first 2 Pokemon with little to no trouble. Her Dreadnought put up a bit of a fight taking down Joanne, but Bubbles was able to finish it out, ending the battle in my favor and earning me my second gym badge. I then met up with Sonia and Chairman Rose next, where I endured the most painfully awkward lunch of my life. Someone please tell that man to put on some pants before my appetite files a restraining order. After that, it was time to head through Galarmine number 2, where I was stopped by Bede once again for a battle. Joanne made quick and easy work of his team, sending him packing for now. While making my way through the rest of the mine, I ran into Team Yell and I thought to myself, why is everyone in this mine just hanging around to cause problems? Anyway, Hop and I defeated them in battle, making them run off somewhere else in the mine. A little further in, Hop and I stumbled upon Team Yell, Grunts, and Kabu, the third gym leader, finishing up a battle. It turns out Kabu was in the mine training for our upcoming battle, which is super cool because it makes the gym leaders feel more relatable. Now it was time to call it a night, so I headed to the Butter Drop Inn, but before I can get some sleep, Marnie invited me to a quick battle. I quickly won and went to bed, because I had a new shiny team member to hunt for in the morning. Or so I thought. Do you remember when I said do not forget Route 3, and that I'd be back here very soon, and that it still haunts me to this day? Yep, it's time to talk about my most infuriating and longest hunt of the run by a mile. This one made me question my decision to do this run in the first place. My next target was Rolycoly, a fire and rock type Pokemon that I wanted from the start. Its shiny form is one of my favorites of all time. What can I say? I'm a sucker for the color blue. But I had no idea the pain that this little rock dude would cause me in the coming months. And yes, you heard me right. I said months. I started the hunt on February 5th, 2025 by knocking out 500 Rolycoly to hopefully get an Aura Shiny, since I wasn't able to get one with Rookity at the start of the run. The encounters quickly started racking up as I hunted on and off throughout February while working on other videos. And then February ended. Heading into March, I thought to myself, I'll get it soon for sure, but March came and went with nothing to show for it. I figured I was just lucky with the other hunts, and the universe was just balancing the scales. But then came April, and still nothing. Even after I hit full odds of 1 in 4096, I continued hunting off and on most of the month, and started to lose hope. By April 24th, I decided to go only after Aura, Rolycoly, and skip the normal ones. So I began the mind-numbing process of riding back and forth for a 3% chance at an Aura spawn, hoping it would shine, but it never happened. After 6,157 random encounters and 1,149 brilliant Aura spawns, I knew I had to change it up before I was going to lose my mind. So I caught a normal Rolycoly and headed to the wild area daycare to start Masuda hunting instead. I really didn't want to do it this way, but I had to make progress on the video. I needed to upload it sometime this century. After 3 days of collecting and hatching eggs, it finally shined after 405 eggs. The weight that lifted off my shoulders was unreal. You can hear the relief in my voice when the little blue rock finally showed itself to me, ending my longest hunt I have ever done so far. Oh, there it is! Oh my god! Oh my god, the shiny, finally, dude! Oh, I've been hunting this for so long, dude. Yes! Finally! Oh, okay, cool. Oh my god, it looks so good. The shiny looks so good. Oh. Alright, it's time to name it. I would love to name Rolycoly. It's a female. I said I was going to name it after one of my viewers during one of my live streams. And that's what I'm going to do. So it's Froggy. We got the shiny. Oh. I'm ready to go to the third gym. There she is. But it took a genuine long time. Alright, cool. But I did tell myself that I cannot keep going to Masuda hunts when things get tough. And so I promised to myself that the next 2 hunts, no matter how long it would take, they had to be full odds. With the newest member added to the team, I named her Froggy after someone in my stream, and evolved her to Rolycoly on the way to the third gym after what felt like years. Inside the Motostoke gym, I blazed through the mission and stepped out onto the battlefield to face Kabu. Froggy made quick work of his Ninetales, Bubbles soaked his Arcanine, and to seal the deal, Froggy crushed his Centiskorch into the dirt, earning us our 3rd gym badge. It felt incredible to knock this one out, but let me be honest, this challenge was far from over. After what felt like an eternity, I was finally able to progress the story with the first 3 gym leaders giving me a proper send-off. But on the way out of the city, Bede stops hopping me, provoking him into a battle. I think nothing of it and continue onward. I cut through the wild area to Hammerlock City, the location of the 8th gym where I met up with Chairman Rose, who of course is still not wearing any pants. He then explains how the Galar region gets its energy, which is actually really cool. Whenever a Pokemon Dynamaxes, the particles from the energy gets converted into power. Neat, huh? I then met up with Sonia and she talks about some ancient tapestries that depict the darkest day, and how 2 youths stopped it way back when. Snow Inside was my next destination, but while trying to get through Route 6, I am stopped by Team Yell, who are protecting a sleeping Silicobra from being woken up. Naturally, I battle and defeat them, but Hop takes a hard loss from one of them before running off on his own. At last, I arrive at Still Inside where I battle Hop again, and believe it or not, he puts up a much better fight this time around. After the battle, I met Opal, the 5th gym leader who just loves the color pink a little too much if you ask me. But as you may have guessed, it was time for the next shiny hunt of the run. And I really wanted to do a fossil hunt, mainly because I haven't really used the Galar fossils before and I thought it would be a fun hunt to do. So I went to the Isle of Armor and found the digging paw. If you give him 7 armorite ore, he'll dig up watts for you in the crazy amounts, which I will need to farm the fossils from the digging bros, who are located in the wild area next to the daycare. After spending upwards of 200k watts, I managed to secure 40 drake and 40 fish fossils, which combined to make Dracovish. I do know that's the most hunted fossil in these games, but it's my favorite one and I've always wanted a shiny. I was expecting this hunt to take forever because I've heard of some insane encounter numbers, upwards of 20,000. But the crazy thing is, this hunt was super fast, and after only 500 fossils revived while I was watching a movie, I got my shiny dragonfish. Wait, that was it. That was it. That was the shiny. Hold on. That was it. Oh my god. Yes, dude! Yes! We got it! Oh my god. There it is. Yes. Let's go! That's what I'm talking about. This didn't take that long. Everybody meet Crunch. Such a good shiny, oh my gosh. Let's go, dude. That didn't take long at all. I have to go back in the video to see how long it actually took, but it didn't take that long at all. Where's Crunch? There he is. Yes, dude. This shiny's so good. Oh, hello. Hi, how are you? Do you smile? You do! All right. Got ourselves a hell of a team here. Only 4 more to go. All I had to do next was take my newly added team member Crunch through the 4th gym and probably my favorite gym mission in the game. Alistair, the 4th gym leader who specializes in ghost types, was a breeze. Crunch ironically used Crunch to devastate all of his Pokemon except Gengar, which Bubbles took down. With the 4th gym down, this means I am halfway done with the run. Outside of the gym, Sonia and I heard a loud noise and ran to investigate. It turns out Bede was destroying an ancient mural to find wishing pieces. I defeated him in battle, and once that was over, Chairman Rose kicked him from the gym challenge altogether. After that, the wall collapsed and Sonia discovered a hidden statue that shed some light on the Darkest Day event. After all the commotion, it was already time for the next shiny hunt. I decided to hunt in the Glimwood Tangle Forest because there are some awesome Pokemon here, and some sweet shiny forms to boot. Since none of the encounters appear in the overworld, I thought it would be fun to hunt anything that spawned in the grass, kind of like a surprise. The possibilities include Galarian Ponyta, Morgrem, and Shiinotic, just to name a few. Not knowing what I'd get made it super exciting. It only took 3 days and 1,634 random encounters to find my next shiny, and I was thrilled with the result, since it was the one I was really hoping for. Oh my god! Oh my god, there it is! Shiny Morgrem! Oh my god! That scared me! Yes, dude. Oh, shit. I actually really wanted this one. Holy crap. What? Now I gotta catch it. No way. Holy moly, dude. I already know what I'm gonna name it. Regardless of gender, I'm naming it Fantasy. Yes, I would like to give him a nickname. Oh, wow. That's so good. I'm gonna save. I can continue the game. Oh. Let's go. With the 5th shiny on the team, I made my way to the city of Balonlee to take on the next gym. Inside, I met Opal, who was holding auditions to choose someone to replace her once she retires from being a gym leader. After defeating the other contestants, it was time to battle Opal for the badge. Joanne, now fully evolved into a Corviknight, pretty much wiped her entire team. Like I said back in my Sword Nuzlocke, the gym is nearly impossible to lose because all of the buffs they give you throughout the battle. Now that I've earned the 5th gym badge, it's now time to shiny hunt once again. Before I start the hunt, I have to prep by catching the Pokemon I'm going to hunt for. This one was actually one of the 2 planned Masuda hunts in the run, but I couldn't decide what I wanted to go for. So once again, I asked my community what I should hunt for, and they chose Golett, which conveniently was the one I wanted to hunt most out of the 3 options I put. This ended up being my fastest Masuda hunt in the run so far. Just 65 eggs in only an hour of gathering and hatching. Honestly, I didn't expect that I'd notice the shiny right away, but it was super easy to spot. Oh my god, there is no way I just found this shiny in 3 boxes worth of eggs. There is no way, dude. That's wild to me. Not even 2. Oh my god. It took 65 eggs? Wow. All right. I guess we go to the next gym. What? There he is. Look at him. Look at the little guy. Look at him go. Come here, buddy. Yeah, come here. Oh my god, it looks so good. The shiny looks so good. That's crazy. 65 eggs. Wow. I named him Fist Wizard and evolved him into a Golurk, then I made my way to Sirchester and treated myself to a new outfit and haircut just before the gym. Once inside, I had to take on what I think is possibly the worst gym challenge in these games, mainly because it relies on your controller's vibration function. Unfortunately, my Pro Controller doesn't have vibration at all, so I had to navigate it basically blind. The last part of the mission, I also was shrouded in fog, which made it especially tough. Even so, I managed to push through it with only a few mistakes. With the gym mission complete, it was now time to take on the 6th gym leader, and believe it or not, this battle gave me more trouble than any of the other gyms so far. Fist Wizard one-shot Melanie's Frostmoth, but sadly went down to Darmanitan's Icicle Crash, which one-shot him in return. Darmanitan also took down Joanne with the Fire Fang, but then I sent in Froggy, who just finished it off with a Flame Charge, and took care of Ice Cube with 2 body presses. I tried to Dynamax Froggy, but Melanie's Lapras Gigantamaxed and knocked her out before I could do anything. Then Lapras took out Crunch as well, leaving me with just 2 Pokemon. I revived Fist Wizard and used a Phantom Force to finally take out her Lapras, managing to pull off a close victory and claim my 6th gym badge. Next, I met up with Sonia and Hop at a local restaurant where we found an ancient poster that could help Sonia with her research, but Hop had other things on his mind. He then challenged me to a battle outside the hero's bath, which I swept him with bubbles with no issues. I then proceeded to Route 9 where I ran into Team Yell bothering another doctor. I defeated them in battle once again, and as a reward, the doctor gave me the final upgrade for my bike, letting me ride across water, which completely opens up the game. I then made it to Spikemouth where the 7th gym is located, but the front door was locked for some reason. Luckily, Marnie was there and showed me a side entrance. Before I can go in though, she wanted to battle me, so I did, and Froggy totally wiped out her entire team like it was nothing. After defeating her, she showed me the way in, but I couldn't quite take on the next gym yet because I didn't have a 7th shiny to show for it. So that's what I was going to do. And I already knew what I wanted to hunt for, a Pokemon that I've always wanted a shiny version of. Clobbopus is probably in my top 10 favorite Pokemon from Gen 8, and not only does it have an amazing shiny, but its evolution shiny knocks it out of the park for me. Now this hunt was actually the one time in the run where I tried and experienced all kinds of cool stuff. For example, it was the first time I ever tried to double hunt with 2 switches, but it didn't last very long because I was getting overwhelmed by it. Kudos to those who double hunt. It's stressful. Trying to pay attention to multiple screens while controlling them both is a wild feeling that totally messed with my brain. This hunt was also the first time I ever experienced something called bingusing. If you're wondering what that is, it's a glitch in the game where if you encounter a Pokemon in the wild at a certain spot, there's a chance the game will display the wrong location and weather after the battle ends. I bingused again! No way, dude. Absol Vlogs goes into more detail in his Pokemon Shield Badge Quest video. I just thought it was a cool thing to include because I got it to happen like 3 separate times. All of this happening during the hunt made it fly by faster than I expected. It only took a few days and 2017 encounters to find one of, if not, my favorite shiny Gen 8 Pokemon of all time. Oh my god! Oh my god. Oh my god, there it is, dude. Oh my god. Oh, there she is, excuse me. Oh, I was about to give up for the night. It's morning. It's 5:51 in the morning. I've been hunting all night. Holy crap, dude. Finally. We got it. Let's go, dude. I can finally go to the 7th gym. Let's go. Shiny Clobbopus. I would love to name her. I'm gonna go with Octagon. Like for the UFC. Oops. Octagon. Perfect. What a great name. I am saving the game. Oh, dude. It's so good. Oh my god. It's so cool. I love the shiny. It looks great. Oh wow. Do you smile? You do! I didn't know that's where your mouth was. You look great. I love it. It's so good. Alright, I guess it's time to face the 7th gym. Let's go. I named her Octagon and headed into the 7th gym where I completely destroyed Team Yell and Piers with my newest team member, putting me one step closer to beating this run. Now for the next hunt, I had originally planned to hunt for one of the new Gen 8 Regis in the Crown Tundra, but I forgot in order to even capture the Titans, I would first need 8 badges, making this hunt impossible. But I really wanted to do this hunt, so I asked my community if I should beat the 8th gym and hunt it after, or just find a shiny instead and beat it without a shiny legendary. Tons of people voted yes to go ahead and hunt it after the 8th gym, but I didn't want to let the other people who voted no down at the same time. So I compromised and decided that I was still going to hunt for one of the Regis regardless. But in order to keep with the badge quest rules, I decided to hunt for an extra shiny as well, so that everyone that I asked to vote gets what they want. That's exactly what I did. The next hunt was a Masuda hunt, so I can at least get to the point where I can hunt one of the Regis this year. I decided I was going to go hunt for a shiny Rotom because I really needed the type coverage, and technically it has 7 different shiny forms. After a full day of non-stop egg grinding, the shiny gods finally smiled upon me. Exactly 605 eggs in, and bam! A shiny Rotom sparked to life. Oh, yes! Shiny Rotom! This one, oh my god, it looks so good. And we can do the 8th gym. Let's do this. It's such a good shiny though. Hi! Look at you, you look so good. And he smiles! Wow. Such a great team. Look at all these shinies. They're super good. They're all very beautiful shinies. With Rhodey added to the roster, I then made my way to Hammerlock City where I took on Raihan, the 8th and final gym leader. This gym battle was a doubles format where both Bubbles and Crunch were able to sweep his entire team. With the final gym badge acquired, I can now catch and hunt for the last team member I initially wanted to pursue. But before that, Hop and I made our way through Winden City where I battled the Rotom guy and collected the Rotom catalog, allowing me to change Rhodey's typing on the fly. Next, it was time to head to the Crown Tundra where I needed to catch the 3 original Reggies in order to encounter the 8th gen Reggies. One by one, I captured Regirock, Registeel, and Regice, which by the way, was no easy task. All 3 have a 3% catch rate, making this process pretty challenging. Now with all 3 in my party, I headed to the temple where the next hunt could begin. But honestly, I didn't know which one of them I wanted to go for. So once again, I let my community decide. The vote was closer than I expected, but ultimately Regidrago was chosen. I took a couple of days off to get my mind right and prep mentally for what could be a long hunt. But hear me when I say, this was possibly the fastest hunt I have ever gone for. I'll just let the clip play out so you can see for yourself. You can hear the utter surprise in my voice. No way. No actual way. There's no way. This is 82 encounters. Oh my god. There's no way, dude. This isn't real. What the heck? Oh my god. I'm not risking it. I have a Master Ball that I sent over from my sword file. I'm using it. Are you kidding me? This was 82 encounters. 82. I was legit expecting to be here for weeks. It's such a good shiny. There's no way. I'm shaking. 82 encounters. Oh my god. Wow, I'm kind of emotional. Okay, I guess we can beat the game today. Oh my god, it looks so good, dude. Oh my god, look at it. Holy crap, man. Let me remind you that the odds are 1 in 4,096, I believe. These, wow. Okay. Let's go beat the game with all the shinies I got. It just goes to show, even with 1 in 4,096 odds, you can get insanely lucky and pull off some crazy hunts. With the final shiny hunt of the run finished, I can now head to Winden Stadium and take on this game's version of the Pokemon League and Elite Four. I said this at the beginning of the video, but I think this is the best part of Pokemon Sword and Shield. Having to actually fight my way through the ranks with the roaring crowd in the stadium is just an electric feeling that few Pokemon games can replicate. I then head out onto the field and met my first opponent, Marnie, which with my newly added team member, my confidence was through the roof. One by one, my shiny team takes her squad down with no pushback, leaving just her Grimmsnarl, who she then Gigantamaxes. Unfortunately for Marnie, Joanne one-shot her ace Pokemon and eliminated her from the tournament, which was a stark contrast from my Sword Nuzlocke, marking my first victory in the event. Hop was up next, and I truly wish I can say his battle was a tough one, but Octagon literally swept his entire team with Drain Punch and Max Knuckle. After the event ended for the day, Hop was freaking out because we were supposed to meet his brother Leon for dinner, but he was running later than usual. With a little help from peers, we found out that Leon was at Rose Tower with the chairman, but Olena refused to let us go to Leon and sent us on a wild goose chase to retrieve a key from one of her league staff members. Eventually, we tracked him down and made our way to Rose Tower, where Hop and I battled our way to the top. But just before we can reach Leon, Olena stopped us and challenged me to a battle on the roof, where she gets absolutely destroyed by my amazing shiny team. After the battle, Chairman Rose and Leon were having a conversation. Rose was explaining to Leon that he planned to prevent an energy crisis 1,000 years in the future, before it even happens, so he could be remembered as a hero. This guy is a complete loony if you ask me. The next day rolled around and I headed back to the stadium where Leon kicked off the finals. But out of nowhere, Bede walked out onto the field and demanded to battle me. Leon allowed it, but like every other time throughout the game, Bede lost hard. With Bede defeated, the actual finals could begin. Nessa, Alistair, and Raihan all suffered the same fate. All that was left was to beat Leon, but right before our battle, Chairman Rose interrupted us and triggered the Darkest Day, which left unchecked could destroy Galar and possibly the world. We both rushed off the field and Leon took off to try and stop Rose, while Hop and I came up with a plan to head to the Slumbering Weald where we picked up the rusted sword and shield. We then returned to Hammerlock Stadium where I confronted Rose in battle. Octagon was able to beat his entire team with ease with super effective moves. After that, I made my way to the roof and found Leon facing off against a massive Pokemon called Eternatus. Leon tried to contain it in a Pokeball, but it was too strong and violently broke free. In a fit of rage, it attacked me, but Judge Dredd was able to repel the crazed Pokemon with possibly one of the coolest attacks of all time. I mean, just look at it. You cannot tell me that that doesn't go hard. Unfortunately, it only made Eternatus even more angry, and it shot up into the sky, Gigantamaxed into what looked like the Master Hand from Super Smash Bros. Hop and I ended up in a raid battle against it, but none of our Pokemon could do anything. That's when Hop remembered the rusty sword and shield, and out of nowhere, Zacian and Zamazenta appeared and transformed into their crowned forms. This allowed us to finally go on the offensive, and little by little we brought it down. I caught it, ending the Darkest Day and saving the Galar region. Zacian and Zamazenta then leapt into the distance with a flash of light. But I'm not done yet. There is still one final battle before I can officially say I beat Pokemon Shield using only shiny Pokemon. So I made my way back to Winden Stadium to finally face Leon, the unbeatable champion. I stepped out onto the field face to face with the last hurdle of what might be my most difficult and most memorable run to date. Win or lose, this is going to go down in history as my favorite challenge run yet. The battle began with Leon sending out his Aegislash while I led with Judge Dredd. I opened with a Crunch, but Leon countered with King Shield, halting my attack completely. Next turn, I used Crunch again, but it didn't do too much damage to Aegislash, and it responded with a Shadow Ball, but it barely scratched my Pokemon. I then unleashed Dragon Energy, finally taking Aegislash down. Leon's Haxorus hit the field and quickly took out Judge Dredd with a brutal outrage. I sent in Fantasy, who landed a Play Rough, bringing Haxorus into the yellow. Leon used a full restore to heal it back to full, but it was all for nothing. Next turn, Fantasy one-shot it with a Dazzling Gleam. Up next was Rhyperior, so I switched to Bubbles, who landed a 4 times effective Snipe Shot and OHKO'd it on the spot. Then came Dragapult, who outsped Bubbles and struck with a powerful Thunderbolt, leaving her barely hanging on. She fired back with an Ice Beam, which didn't quite finish the job, and Dragapult ended her run with a Flamethrower. I sent in Fist Wizard, but he was taken out instantly by a Shadow Ball. Even though Fantasy was weakened, I called him back in to use Darkest Lariat, finally knocking out Leon's Dragapult. Rillaboom came out next, so I revived Judge Dredd, and he returned to the field and used Dragon Energy to take out Rillaboom without a hitch. And then, last but definitely not least, Leon sent out Charizard. I Dynamaxed Judge Dredd, and Leon Gigantamaxed his Charizard. We exchanged blow after blow with Max Rockfall, but in the end, Judge Dredd stood tall, Charizard fell, and the battle was over. I had become the champion of Galar. Not just any champion, but one who triumphed using only shiny Pokemon. As the run came to a close, just like every great adventure before it, I felt that familiar bittersweet feeling. Sure, there were highs and lows, but every single moment was filled with so much joy. From start to finish, I had an absolute blast. Every time a shiny Pokemon appeared on screen, it felt like the world lit up. The spark of excitement never faded, and it made me feel like I was soaring. Starting this channel truly reignited my love for Pokemon, and it brought me back to the magic of my childhood, and getting to share that with all of you made it even more special. This run means a lot to me, not because of all of the shinies or the journey itself, but because I wasn't doing it alone. You all were there with me every step of the way, and I thank you so much for being a part of it. And as always, I'm Snorlad, and this was Pokemon Shield, but I can only use shinies.